been a long 2020. Thanksgiving's on the horizon, Christmas is right around the corner, and you just gotta push it through. What better thing to keep you up and keep you relaxed than cold brew and whiskey? Welcome to the Roasted and Barreled Review. So, on today's review, we're going to discuss mixing Wild Turkey and 78 cold brew together. But first, I want to discuss the most dangerous place on a distillery's property. You may have gone on a tour yourself, or just imagine if you happen to go on a tour. You've done the gift shop, you've seen the distillators, you've seen the mash tanks, and then you get walked out to this 8 or 10 story building. You and your group corral into this little hallway, and you just look all the way up to the ceiling, and you are just surrounded by basically floor after floor after floor after floor of bourbon whiskey, or of whiskey in general. What you need to understand is these warehouses think about it. A small batch can be less than 200 barrels mixed together. Each barrel starts, when it enters the warehouse, is about 500 pounds. That's like 3 or 4 F-150s in one place. Now, imagine that moving. That's what you're kind of dealing with when you're in these barrel warehouses. And it's not like there's any high-tech technology to kind of let you know that, hey, this building's a little unsettling. All you have is like a string tied to the top of the ceiling, and going all the way down to the floor, to the floor level, you gotta wait. And if that thing's tilted, you best be scooting out of there. Like, I don't know how much I would want to get paid to move barrels in a tilted building. I don't think I could be paid enough or have the brains enough to figure out how to fix a slanted building. Well, what I do know is when that building comes down, that's a lot of weight hitting the ground. And it's also a lot of flammable liquid hitting the ground. The 100 proof, 90 proof bourbons and whiskeys can catch fire really easily, and it can become really hard to put out. And don't just think that I'm talking crazy here. This past year in 2019, we had 2 warehouses fall down. That's like a percentage of the world's whiskey production just gone. Now, thankfully, nobody dies in these, or nobody's yet to die in these things. But as a bourbon drinker, as a whiskey drinker, a little tear comes to your eye. Not to get all negative before the review, there are some people that do turn it around. In 2006, Buffalo Trace had a tornado hit one of its warehouse buildings, and all the barrels that they could salvage, they put out a little special tornado surviving edition, and might have added a markup. I don't know. I never got it, but I did read about it when I was researching this. So now, on to the review. So with apologies, that'll go away. So with Wild Turkey is out of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Lawrenceburg is home to 2 distilleries, Wild Turkey and Four Roses. We'll get Four Roses on here eventually. Wild Turkey is a basic bourbon. Like, it seems 101, like, oh, it's gonna put some hair on your chin. No, it's pretty much just a basic bourbon. Spicy given the rye. I thought it was gonna be rougher than it actually was, but because there's nothing really special about this bourbon, I give it, like, you should try it. Like, if it's on the menu at a bar, definitely give it a try. No, I wouldn't even say that you should stray away from buying a bottle just to try it. It's not that expensive. And 78 Cold Brew Coffee. 78 Cold Brew is a coffee shop here in Louisville, Kentucky, in the New Lou neighborhood. Opening this bag, it was a very, very dark roast. Trying it, with the cold brew. It was smooth, standard coffee, nothing to go out of your way for, but a solid coffee. Definite buy. Now, how did these taste together? Terrible. Like, absolutely terrible. It has a very smoky taste. It's just not good. If I would have tried this first, I would have basically just resigned to the fact that the coffee and whiskey combo is just not meant to be. Thankfully it is, but it ain't here. Until next time, enjoy.